I'm incredibly privileged to have access to the collections of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust in order to explore original objects and images and books from Shakespeare's time. But it's possible for you to research many aspects of the historical and cultural context of Shakespeare just on your own computer. Let me give you an example. There's a wonderful moment in Antony and Cleopatra where Cleopatra remembers a time when she and Antony put on each other's clothes. That time, she says, "Oh, times, I laughed him out of patience, and that night I laughed him into patience, and next morning, ere the 9th hour, I drunk him to his bed." Wonderful idea, being drunk at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then, she says, "Then put my tires and mantles on him, whilst I wore his sword Philippon." The female wearing the sword, the male wearing the tire and mantle of the female. This is an image of the inversion of traditional sex roles. And there's no doubt that Shakespeare was inspired to create this image by a famous story in classical mythology. Again and again, we see in Antony and Cleopatra comparisons between the figures of Antony and Cleopatra and those of the mythological tradition. The story Shakespeare had in mind here was that of Hercules and Omphale. Hercules was, of course, the great warrior hero, and Antony in the play is frequently compared to Hercules. Omphale was a beautiful woman who had a particular specialism in the art of spinning and weaving traditional female roles. And Hercules fell in love with her, and just as in this image, they did cross-dress. She wears the sword and the signs of Hercules, the military figure, and he wears her female clothes. Now, this was a very, very popular subject in the Renaissance, in Shakespeare's time, where so many artists and sculptors looked to classical mythology. So all you need to do is go onto a Google search and put in Hercules Omphale. And when you do that, if you choose Google Images, up will come an enormous number of paintings and statues going back to classical times and through Shakespeare's time, through the Renaissance, where you can really get an idea of the image that was in Shakespeare's mind as he put these words into the mouth of Cleopatra. There's a particular statue that I very much like, which is in the Museum of Archaeology in Naples. And here it is. It shows exactly the figure of Omphale wearing the lion skin of Hercules, because Hercules famously had slain a lion. And she has Hercules' great and, one has to say, rather phallic club. And Hercules is dressed as a woman. Hercules and Omphale, Venus and Mars, Antony and Cleopatra themselves. Google the images, and your imagination will begin to go to the places that Shakespeare and his audience went in order to bring the ancient world to life.